but also making sure it's very clear what you want them to do. So for example, if you're asking somebody to register for an event, when you are getting into your campaign, especially in Facebook, you have the opportunity to ask them to submit their information using the Facebook lead generation form. I don't know that I would necessarily want them to do that if I'm just going to send them to another page where they have to register for my event, because now they might get frustrated and say, well, golly, they really want my information. They've now asked me for it twice. So, kind of figuring out, well, what's the end user experience and making sure that that is as efficient as possible. And friction basically is just any chance where they might say, nope, I'm out, right? And then they go back to whatever they were doing before they clicked.
So let's talk about friction a little bit, guys. And so what they're referring to is we have different ways to apply friction to our ads. And he's talking about it in a little bit of a negative inclination, right? And when I start thinking about friction, I think about this. I can target an ad. I can target a Facebook ad, a Google ad, Instagram, Facebook, whatever. And I actually can put them through this funnel. And I can say that I need you to match this criteria and this criteria and this criteria. And if you match all of those criteria, then I want Facebook to put my ad in front of you. So that's a lot of the friction. And so when we start thinking about that is in terms of friction, our cost of the ad is going to be higher. And at the same time, what we do know is that the leads are going to be better as well. So we might take our lead that typically costs us about $3 per person, and now that lead might actually cost $15. And they met every piece of criteria that I needed them to hit. And what I mean by that is inside Command, what I can do is I can say, I want this ad to go out to anyone that has looked at Zillow or Realtor.com. And how Facebook knows this is just like any of you, that especially right now during the holiday times, right? I'm sure that Facebook, when you go on there or you go onto Instagram, they're hitting you with Amazon ads right now on your Facebook. They're hitting you with anything that you've looked up recently online. And what happens is when you have Facebook on your phone, which most all of us do, Facebook is running continuously on your phone all the time. It is on and is tracking everything that you're doing. And so when you go on to Amazon, if you go on to a car dealership, whatever, Facebook's tracking that. And now it's saying, I have the ability to say, if someone has gone and looked at Zillow, I want my ad to go in front of them. And that's what Facebook is doing. So then when I start talking about adding friction, I say, I want someone that has gone on to Zillow to look at houses and has looked up a mortgage calculator. And if they've done those two things, I want my ad to go in front of them. So if we just did the Zillow one, it's probably going to be like $3. About $3 a lead is what we're going to see on average right now in the state of Colorado, because our ads are a little bit more expensive. And then if I say, and I need them to have looked at a mortgage calculator, that ad is going to be a little bit more expensive because that person has hit a lot of attributes that I'm looking for. And now it's probably going to be about a $10 to $15 lead, but they've gone through more of the process, right? They've actually done a whole lot more stuff. What Marty's also talking about as friction is he's saying that we have this lead capture form. And in the lead capture form, what it does is we have two different ways that we can do different things inside of running a paid ad online right now. One of them is if they click on our ad, it says learn more. And it's saying, hey, if you want more information, I need your name, your phone number, and your email. And I will give you exactly what I told you that I would give you. And then they enter into our ecosystem through Command, and we can start reaching out to them systematically and strategically. Well, what Marty's saying is if we're adding more friction to that piece, we're going to deter people. And what he's saying is if we're just going to run an Eventbrite for first-time homebuyer credits or how to qualify for a mortgage or whatever kind of event that we're running, and we make them give us our information, and then we take them to another landing page and make them give us our information all over again, they might say, no, like, I don't care anymore. I'm done with you. And they're going to walk away. So Marty's saying, depending on what your goal is, if you're trying to drive them to a landing page, just send them to a landing page. No need to get their information up front. Just send them to the landing page. And I'm experimenting that right now. I'm doing different things where I'm running lead capture forms and I'm running the lead generation form to see where I get more people to give me their information. So I'll keep you guys posted as the more I see this. But let's give it back over to Marty.
Clicked on your ad. and making sure that why would they click on your ad is another important question, right? And so making sure that you have a clear call to action. Why should I click on your ad? Oh, I want to see the pictures. Oh, I want to register for the event. Oh, I want to know the price. Whatever that may be, as you're going through each one of these, you kind of have to have that in the back of your mind. What do I want them to do? And again, where do I want them to do that at?
Awesome. So what's this activity, the next activity that we have planned?
Man, I'm telling you what, Pam, this is one portion of Command that I just am blown away with every single time I get into it. And it's like opening a gift. It changes to every 24 hours. So this is what we're talking about is the referral platform, the referral patterns platform. Say that 3 times fast. Right?
I know,
so
right?
You can get into Command and pull up the referral platform. When you're there, you're going to see several tabs across the top, and you want to click on that map tab. And when you get into the map tab, you're going to have the ability to start actually tracking referral patterns from any city in the US, both outbound and inbound. And so we've actually got a help article that's going to explain further this process. You can see that link and we can get that to you, or you can just go again to answers.kw.com, search for viewing referral patterns in Command, and you'll get the entire help article. We've also got a PDF included for you that we want you to download so you can start checking it out. Here's what I would ask. Before you get into Command, right, think about your hometown. Where do I think people are sending referrals to, meaning, okay, someone's moving from my hometown to some other town. What are the top 3 places, right? So I live in Katy, Texas. Where would they be moving to from Katy, Texas? And I could just jot down. So what we're going to ask you guys to do, just kind of guess. Take a best guess where they're moving to, and then flip the script. Where are they moving from? And then as you work through this activity, you're going to start to see, well, were you correct? Were you incorrect? Was there anything that surprised you? I will tell you, there's surprises happening all the time, Pam. I get into this often because I demonstrate it with both new agents and recruits. And it's always fun just to kind of see what's changed, because it is almost constantly, every 24 hours or so, being updated with new referrals and new patterns. So it's a very powerful piece of technology.
This referrals in Command is a game changer. I still go on listing consultations with sellers, and when we talk about the migration patterns of where people are coming in, where people are going, and I kind of quiz them, I'm like, where do you think that I'm target marketing your property? And you ask them just that question: where are the top 3 feeder markets that are coming in, who are the best candidate for your property? And most of the time what they think is absolutely incorrect. And when we can show them in real time who's coming in to the market that may be best suited for their property, or in fact where I'm targeting to get buyers from, whatever the thing may be, the referrals in Command is amazing, and no other company has this. It is a game changer. And if our agents start using this tool, they will rock those listing consultations.
And again, just like I was just going right there, just what you said. Remember, guys, if you don't think you're competing on the listing appointments that you're going on, more often than not, you're kidding yourself, right? So just know that I am probably competing with 1 or more agents. So what can I show this client that the other agent cannot? In this referral patterns, if you're bringing your tablet, even if you just have some screenshots of the arrows going out, right? And you can kind of, sometimes I know that you don't always have Wi-Fi, or maybe you're just not as tech savvy, but you don't have the tools quite yet. Just take some screenshots, print them out, and show them what it looks like. Show them the top 20 cities, right, that are referring out and referring in to our hometown. And then, it's always kind of fun to say, I'm sure you already know this. Surely the other agents talk to you about this, right? And let that pause do the heavy lifting.
Yeah.
And it's a small tree with a little bit of shade, but again, you're kind of setting yourself apart from the competition, saying this is just one piece of an amazing technology platform that I, as a Keller Williams agent, can share with you. And so don't you think we should do the right thing and go ahead and sign the listing agreement now? And you move forward, and guys will tell you more often than not, like, just start talking, start signing, right? Let's get it done.
Absolutely.
Start marketing from there.
The biggest challenge is to making sure that all of our agents are taking advantage. And there's no way that everybody's going to use every tool, but
Sure.
All right, guys. So when we're talking about this, right, they touched on one key point, right, which was when we're sitting in front of a potential seller, right, and we're telling them what we're going to do different than the other agents, right? We're saying, what I have is I'm going to do stuff a little bit different than most agents, right? Most agents are going to put a sign in the yard, put it on the MLS, and pray that it sells, right? They're going to do the 3 P's, right? We're going to do the 4th P. We're going to proactively look for buyers for your property. And one of the things that we have is this thing called the referral platform. And what we're going to do is, I'm not going to send you guys this article. What we're going to do is I'm just going to open it, right? And so when I go in here, I'm going to go to agent.kw.com. And here we are. So through agent.kw.com, when it starts loading, I'm going to go over here on the far left-hand side to the opportunities. And let me just pull open the spotlight. Boom, there you go. So now you get to follow along with this red dot of mine. And so on the left-hand side, I'm going to go to referrals. And we're going to go right here, referrals, which is that little pin mark with the person in it. So I click on referrals. And then what we have is it takes you to the dashboard, right? And on the top left here, we have dashboard, my referrals, map, and my network. So what we're going to do is we're going to click on the map. So here's the map feature, and it's asking us what we want to do. And right down here where it says production, I want to click on the drop down arrow. And I want to look at the referral patterns. So right now, this is sent and this is received. So I can go back and forth and do these different things. But let's just look at let's look at sent first, right? Like, this is where we're actually sending referrals to all the time, right? We're actually sending 3% of all the referrals that we send are going to Honolulu, Hawaii. Somehow, 3% of the referrals that we send are going to Westminster, which kind of weirds me out. I don't get that. Who in here is not willing to drive to Westminster? Okay, good. All right. And then we have Naperville, Illinois, Tampa, Florida, Austin, Texas, Scottsdale, Arizona, Loveland, Colorado. I get that. Chicago, Lakewood, weirds me out a little bit. Memphis, Arlington, and Sarasota. So cool. So then let's look at received. These are the people that are actually coming in. So 3% is actually coming from Colorado Springs. And guys, this is just into Arvada. This is the Arvada Market Center only, right? And so these are actually people that are coming into Arvada. Tuscan, Arizona, Inglewood, Houston, Westminster again, Asheville, North Carolina. I have no clue how to pronounce that one from Idaho, but if you do, good on you. And then we go through, guys. And so, yes, Kathy.
You said this is just our market center?
This is just Arvada. This is just truly Arvada only, yes. So you could actually change it, and you could just say, you could change it to Denver if you wanted to right here. I could say, what's going into Denver?
But it's by market center, not, because it's command, it's by market centers.
By market center, correct. So guys, take a look at this, right? Like, that changed dramatically. So now, like, as I'm going through this, because Kathy's absolutely right, I might not just focus on Arvada. Maybe I'm going to focus on the big city, because this is the thing. I think that a lot of people, if you were to say Arvada, they're like, what in the world's Arvada? Right? Like, if we're in Colorado, we know where Arvada is, but I've been on numerous times where we've been at conventions and different things, and we're like, we live in Arvada, and they're like, I have no clue what that is. Well, you know where Denver is? You know where Boulder is? Yes. We're in between there, right? And they're like, oh, cool, right? So maybe what we're doing is we're looking at Denver because people understand Denver, and now I'm seeing, okay, so Tuscan, Arizona is probably where I want to start reaching out. So 2 things to this. My first piece that I would think about is, how can I bring this information when I'm on a listing appointment, right? Like, when I'm going through and I am saying, well, I'm going to send out this information to the top states and cities in the United States that are actually, people are moving here. And you're like, and I have the data to show you, Arizona, right, is sending people, and let's click on Arizona. Cool.
So that's Tucson.
Yep. Oh, Tuscan. I've been saying Tuscan this whole time. Yeah, Tucson.
Yes, please don't do that on your listing appointment.
Yeah. So Tucson, Arizona, right? And it gives me top received by Tucson. So Colorado Springs is sending 1%, but it's actually, people are moving Tucson to Tucson, which also just interests me. People are staying in Tucson is what this is telling me when they're going through here. So that's your listing appointment thing. This is what I was saying in the very beginning, though. If I was to relaunch my real estate career, and what I mean by that is I'm no longer in production, like I'm no longer advertising, I'm no longer doing anything for business. What I would do is I would actually research this, and I would find the top areas to where people are moving into Colorado, and I would use this tool right here. And then I would create a newsletter in Command. I would, or any platform that you want. We just have access to Command for no added cost. So this is why I would use Command to create this. And I would look up the top agents in that neighborhood or in that area. And I would put them on a monthly drip campaign. I would create an article every month and I would fire it off to them. And you know what I would do? I would go some astronomical referral fee. I would say like 35%. Hi, my name is Charles Coleman. I am representing whatever. I would cut you a 35% referral fee for any business that you send me. And I would get systematic and strategic with this, and I would send it out to probably 100 agents a month is what I would do with this. And I would, like I'm telling you, if I were to recreate my GPS and get back into production, I would do this, because I can't tell you, did anyone get the text message and email from the Austin, Texas agents, I think last week? I think it was over the weekend, maybe it's Monday. So someone's teaching this right now, and I don't know who it is, but someone's actually teaching this strategy. I got a text message that read, hey Charles, we sent you an email. We represent agents in this area. They gave me some information if we could ever help you. So what they were doing is they were reaching out to the people that were the cities that were actually sending referrals and saying, hey, we would give you a big referral fee. So I would duplicate that exact same thing. Any questions around either one of these guys? I see something in the chat. Kathy said that she has received a 40% offer from Arizona. Who wouldn't, guys? Like, I wouldn't go 50-50 because I think that's a lot of work, and depending on who the people are moving, right? But this is the thing. We're talking about a $15,000 commission. Yes, if you're not capped, you're going to be paying about $4,500 to the market center. And guys, this is mailbox money, right? Or it's not mailbox money, but it's free business that's coming in, and all it did was take you some emails pushing out. And then people are raising their hand and saying, oh, I have someone and you're the best game in town, whatever. And you're just developing relationships and mind share and providing value. What other questions, what other thoughts do we have around this?
I have a question.
Yes.
I don't know if you went over this because I did join a little late, but so this referral pattern, if someone is like, let's say from Tucson, sending a referral to Denver, I guess, like, how do you accept it? How do you like communicate with that person that's sending a referral?
Yeah, so great question. So there's a couple different things, right? One of the abilities that we have is to actually create a new referral right here. If I were to click on the top right corner, and then I can actually say, is it for a buyer? Is it for a seller? Is it a tenant? Is it a landlord? Let me move this out of the way. And I can actually hit find agent, and I probably totally just sent that. So let's see what happens. Hopefully not. And so when we go through, we can actually put all these things in. We can accept a deadline. We can put the price that they're doing. We can put any notes. We can put the client's information, all the stuff in, and truly we can send it out. And what this does is anyone in that area, they would collect it if we were going to go do it this way, right? I'm not saying this is the only way to do it. I'm not saying this is the best way to do it. And if you just wanted to send a blind referral out to whoever raises their hand and then they agree to your terms, then you would get a notification back that Kathy accepted the referral. She's going to pay you 40%. And then I would probably do a warm introduction. People do this as well. They send them our way. And you get that notification on your phone through the command app right now. And or you can get it through here. And like I said, it's just a jump ball to where they're sending it to everyone that does business in that area. And the first person to respond to it is the person that gets the referral.
Okay, so yeah, that's what I was talking about, more so of like incoming referrals, not necessarily outgoing.
Yeah, so you get a notification on your command app that there's an incoming referral. If it's via jump ball that way, that's how it would be. Or they can be very specific and they can say, hey, Deanna did some research, wanted to reach out, right? Because that piece is pretty easy as well. Like I could do this. I could go to the dashboard and let's go back to the map and let's get our referral and let's just go to production. And I can say that I am looking, well, let's just do Denver, why not? I am looking for an agent in Denver. And then so this is what it does, is it pulls up all these different things for me. And then I'm going to zoom in because it just pulled up broad Denver. And this is what I'm saying, guys. We just pulled in Denver and it pulled up the Denver metro. And let's say I want to get very specific in this area right here. Someone that has done business around Alameda for whatever reason. I can actually go in here and Alex Wolf, and I have it sorted by production and random. But you know what I want? I want someone, because this is a buy side, so I want someone that's done a lot of buyers in this area. I can go over here, click buy side. And it's actually Daniel Dixon, the owner of the Dixon Group, and our social equality ambassador for Colorado. And I go in here and I click on Daniel Dixon and you can see that he has done 311 units in the last, I think it's 2 years is how much business he's done. 66 listings. He's only had one closing in this area. And you can see how tight of an area this is. We're talking, it's a couple blocks. 12 months. I'm sorry, this is 12 months worth of data. He's done $131 million in deals. And his average deal is about $424,000. So we can actually break this down very specific, and we could even just pick, like, so if there was an inbound referral, someone would actually come in here and they might do with this, or they're going to be like, you know what? Just give me the random, show me whoever pops up. Look, Renee just popped up from our office. And then so Renee has done a deal in this area. She's done 23 units in the last 12 months. She's done 10 million or 9.4 million in sales. So this is another way that people are finding referral partners if you're not going to create the newsletter, that they're going to actually come through and they're going to do these different things. Or you can say, you know what, I just want someone that's done buy sides. And let's pull down Daniel Dixon. And they're just like, you know what, I'm going to go to the very bottom because I just want someone that hasn't done a lot of business. I want someone that's going to be able to love on my client, right? And then so here we go. I just dropped all the way down to the bottom. This Elizabeth has done deals over here. She's done one deal, 4 deals total. So she probably has a little bit more time to help someone. Her average deal is about $568,000. So that's how people are actually going into here and choosing people very strategically for their referral patterns as well. One of those different ways. But here's that broadcast referral that I was just talking about as well, right? And this just fires it off. And as soon as someone says yes, they pick someone. Any other questions about this piece, everyone?
I have a quick question. Yeah. So I know sometimes in our Facebook group, agents will post like, hey, looking for a referral in this area. Would you recommend utilizing that first? And then if no one has one, coming to here? Or would you, I guess it's kind of just up to us.
This is my thoughts on this. So I do have a strong opinion on that, actually, Ashley. So I appreciate you asking this. My opinion is this. If you're reaching out and saying, who has a great real estate agent that they refer? And then someone pops up and they're like, I think you should reach out to Kathy. I've done business with Kathy. She's awesome. Who do you think is going to get credit in Kathy's eyes, you or me? You asking the question? Well, I'm Kathy and I probably have a great relationship already. And Kathy's probably going to send me all of her referrals already. And I just helped her increase any more because I'm going to be like, hey, Kathy, did Ashley reach out to you? I told her to use you because you're the best. And Kathy's like, Charles, thank you so much. And then Kathy gets a referral and she's going to send it back to me. She's not going to send you. I would use this and I'd find my own referral partners. I would. I wouldn't use what everyone else is doing. And My other strong opinion on this is depending on where you're using it. Like if it's not in our internal Facebook group, and let's say you're going like Lab Coat Agents or Referral Network or whatever, people are actually paying people to shout out their names. It's like bandwagon, it's cheerleading, it's different things. So when you see like the same person get named like 20, 30 times, it's because they're in a pay to play network to where they all pay like a monthly fee to be a part of it, and everyone just shouts out their names. They're not even the best agent. They're just paying a couple $100 a year for everyone to say their name, and they're all a part of a group together.
Good to know. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Any other thoughts or questions? Perfect. So there's that piece, everyone. And then so let me put in the chat the referral pattern. So here's the referral pattern sheet. Here's the referral pattern sheet that they were talking about. Let me copy it and let me throw it in the chat. Here's your PDF. So here's your PDF for the referral platform. And what it's saying is, who do you think this is? What did you learn from this, right? And like I said, from what we just discovered, everyone, I would actually put in Denver because I think a lot of people associate Denver with Denver, right? For the Denver Metro. But play with it. Type in Arvada, type in Denver, type in Westminster, all those different pieces. And then as we're going through, maybe this will let me scroll and maybe not. Oh, that's the end of the page, so it's not letting me go any further. It says, how will you use this information for further marketing, right? Everyone, I would think maybe I'm running Facebook ads to agents on Facebook, letting them know that I'm paying a 35% referral fee to people moving to Colorado. Maybe I'm going through and I'm starting a newsletter. Maybe I'm just calling agents and starting a relationship, right? I'm like, hey, so-and-so, I saw that you do area business in Tucson, Arizona. And I wanted to reach out and just establish a relationship with you. How's business out there? All these different things. Hey, you going to family reunion digitally, in person, whatever, and just start those relationships. I think that relationship marketing is pretty huge right now, guys. And if we're just doing it and we're saying, hey, and the benefit from using me is I pay a 35% referral fee, I think it's going to go a long way. So I would look through this, do some deep dive, do some discovery in here, because like I said, if I was to jump back into my production business, I would be utilizing this big time right now. So then the second part of this, right, as we go through, we just touched the advertising, the command referral patterns. We're not going to review the article because we just did it live. And then the second thing is create and run online advertisement campaigns. And so what we have right now is we have another 24 minutes, so we're not going to get through the whole video, and it should still be pretty useful because we're going to go higher level with it.
Welcome back to our next module on Up Your Game with Online Lead Generation. I'm here, Pam Temple, with Marty Miller. And in this module, we're going to talk about designing and launching online advertisements using designs and campaigns and the landing pages in the campaign. So Marty, we're going to jump in and talk about all these social media platforms. I am really good with Facebook. I'm really good with Instagram. The other two, my team uses in terms of YouTube. We're not true Twitterers as much as we should be, but talk about the advantage of it. Let's start with Facebook. Community engagement, communication just in general. How are we going to utilize this platform?
Yeah, I think it's really important that we do take this time and look at the 4 platforms and how they're best used, so that we can make sure that our marketing efforts are not falling flat depending on where we may be using them. Facebook is fantastic for its community involvement and the fact that you have groups for everything. You name it, and there's probably a Facebook group for it, right? Even that, whatever you're thinking right now. Right. And typically they are neighborhood based groups, buy, sell, trade groups. Maybe it's just your HOA group. Maybe it's, moms with kids that play baseball that live in South Katy. I don't know what the groups are, but I can almost guarantee you that if you start searching for them, you're going to find a ton of groups that you can then, and some of them are real particular about who they let in and who they don't. And that's your job to kind of find that out. But when you find the right groups, you can have engagement through contribution and then work real estate in, right? So maybe you're really knowledgeable about what's happening at your local elementary school because you have kids that go there, you're on the PTA. Great. Let's see if you can join then the elementary Facebook group and start talking about, hey, book fair is next week and Spirit Day is this Friday. And by the way, if you love this house or you love this neighborhood, you love this school, you want to bring some friends in, I got a new listing, right? You're kind of adding real estate to it. But that's really what Facebook is known for. It's probably one of the most popular platforms, although Instagram is really coming up. And so, we can kind of talk about that. You want to skip to Instagram, do that next?
You know what? Let's talk a little bit more about Facebook. I know that there are a ton of agents in our company, without a doubt, and in our just industry, that we talked about the top 2 lead sources a couple modules ago. And this is number 1 for a lot of people. I know we all belong to, 10, 15, 50 different Facebook groups, but some people are really utilizing that and exchanging value. Part of their content, their contribution is a tremendous amount of value, so they get the opportunity to talk about real estate. Without a doubt, this is, I think it's number 1 for our team, and I think it's number 1 for most agents.
I would 100% agree. I mean, it's great to go to events like Mega Camp and Family Reunion and Masterminds and really learn from some of the pros. Like, we stand on the shoulder of giants when we're at Keller Williams. So many people have come before us, are doing it now. And the culture of contribution, it's like no other. And so I love going to those events and learning about how people are utilizing things like Facebook groups, right?
So guys, let's talk about Facebook groups real quick, right? So when we start thinking about this, they're not talking about online lead gen anymore, right? They're not talking about that they're going out and they're just casting a giant net to see who gets gobbled up into it so that we can actually start reaching out to and communicating to. They are talking about groups like Arvada neighbors, Westminster neighbors, whatever that looks like, softball leagues, different things like this that people have interest in, the Arvada homes for rent, different things like this, and they're providing information. And so when we start thinking about this, they are actually going out there and they are earning the right to have real estate conversations with people. And this is where I'm seeing it at a high level right now. I'm seeing agents who are getting super purposeful, and someone says, hey, I need an electrician. Hey, I need a roofer. Hey, where is the best place for a wedding venue? Right? They're asking, right? Because this is an information age. And to Ashley's point, right? It was like, well, where do we get this information from? And a lot of these people, this is actually where, Ashley, I think that it is beneficial for us, because if you can actually be that connector, you're going to be rewarded for it, right? If you're like, my best friend owns this, right? So the other day, my buddy calls me. And he unfortunately, I'm in Mitch's room and he has a giant spider literally right by. I caught it out of the corner of my eye and it's walking up the wall. Anyways, it's too cold for spiders outside. And my buddy gives me a call. He says, hey, Charles, I have a leak in my room, or a leak in my basement. I don't know where it's coming from. Do you have a plumber? And while this wasn't on Facebook, the same rules apply. And I said, I actually do. And I reached out to Morgan, who's on our call right now. Her husband is a plumber. I didn't know what her husband's phone number was, so I actually just had my buddy call Morgan. I said, reach out to Morgan, send her a text. She's a millennial. She'll text you back, and she'll get you the number to her husband to help you with the plumbing. Guys, you want to be a connector, right? Because this is the thing. Like, Morgan reached out and thanked me for the referral. My buddy reached out and thanked me for the referral. So now I look great in both people's eyes. We want this. And so they're saying, do this at a different level. Don't just with the people that you know. Do it with the community that you're in. So be purposeful. Let's go out and let's get into these community groups. And what that means is that you actually have to know some plumbers, some electricians, some handymen, some wedding venue people. And guess what? That's awesome, because then you're going out, you're being purposeful. This is lead gen, guys. You're going out, you're starting relationships with these people. Maybe you're doing some interviewing with them and you're getting them on your social media, and then their people are seeing you and your people are seeing them, and you're becoming that connector. Maybe you're working out some kind of discounts. So check this out. If you saw what I posted on Facebook today on our internal group, it was around like the 12 best marketing strategies for disruption in 2022, something around that effect. And one of the things was utilize your business card. And we're like, cool, duh. Like, I utilize my business card. And this is what it was saying. And this is why I asked anyone, if you want to deep dive into it, just let me know and we'll mastermind around it. So what if I reach out and I go back to the electrician, right? I reach out to Morgan's husband and I say, hey, if any of my clients reach out to you, would you offer them a 10% discount? And Morgan's husband says, yeah, I'd do that for you. Why not? Cool. So then what I would do is I would say, well, I'm going to advertise this. I'm on the back of every one of my business cards. I'm going to promote your business for a 10% off this. Guys, this could be a restaurant. This could be handyman services. This could be anything. And then you're making sure that you're just handing out your business card and be like, hey, since you're in my circle, if you ever need this service, call this guy. He's going to take care of you. Call this girl. She's going to take care of you, whatever that looks like, right? And so if we were to do this at a super hyper level, right, to where I think this could look like a magnitude of things. If we're going to get purposeful about this, if we're going to be connecting with people on social media and handing out our referrals, and then I'm making phone calls and I'm like, hey, Kathy, just wanted to reach out, see how you're doing. I've been talking to a lot of my sphere recently, my clients, right? I'm going to plug them a real estate agent, my clients. And one of the things that they've been looking for is an awesome CPA. Do you happen to know anyone? And Kathy's like, yeah, I got an awesome CPA. Here's their name and phone number. I'm like, cool, Kathy, I appreciate that. I'm going to call that CPA. I'm going to put them on my list. This list I'm probably going to send out every year to my clients like, hey guys, here's my updated vendor list. If you need any of these people, reach out to them. They're going to take care of you, and here's what they're going to offer you. Plus, I'm going to be plugging that list all over social media. Guys, you need to be a connector. This is lead generation. This is the easiest thing that we could possibly do, and they're going to be like, God, I need an electrician. I'm going to call Charles. Charles knows everyone. Guys, huge game changer, right? So I think we can employ this into communities at a very high level. What are your thoughts around this piece? I'm just seeing a lot of heads shaking, so I'll take it. I like it. All right, let's jump in. Let's see what Marty has to say.
How they're upping their Facebook business pages to start harnessing leads from that, best practices there. So if you haven't had the event to go to one of those, if you haven't had the chance to go to one of those events, definitely get involved because, right. And then every year, Pam, my mind gets blown because I learned something new with regards to so many subject matters, but especially social media, like you said, has been a huge lead source for so many people. And it's about kind of learning how they're using it, what they're doing, and then wow, it's duplicatable, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And all of our agents are so willing to share. There's a lot of people who are killing it on Facebook, and especially within those groups. And so seek them out because they'll tell you exactly how they're winning doing it. So so let's go to Instagram. I'm learning Instagram. It's a lot of photographs, a lot of videos. I'm finally learning how to do all those, those words on it where it's highlighted and the emojis. Like I'm getting there, and I know that it's probably not more important than Facebook, but maybe secondly.
Yeah, and I think it's really important. I mean, Pam is much younger than I am, and I can tell you that based upon my age, I have an Instagram account. I haven't updated it since I got married, and that was 2 years ago, a year and a half ago, depending on when you're watching this. And that was the last post I made I got the account because my wife wanted me to have it. She's younger than I am. So however, think about who you're targeting, right? So what are the kind of age groups that are looking to purchase the listing that you have? And sometimes you may be marketing a property that's in a new, young, hip kind of area where, I will probably get more traction using very, colorful and bright photos and videos about this listing, artistic style on Instagram, as compared to maybe running my posts and my ads on Facebook. So I think it is important to know, so what's the target demographics, if you will, about where I'm wanting to see, and who would most likely be my buyer, and then kind of target your channels based upon that. So
guys, so when we start thinking about Instagram, right, I think the Instagram is super powerful and super misused, right? When I started thinking about Facebook, there's a huge demographic on Facebook right now. It's a bigger, older population, right? And what's funny that I say that is it's like from my generation up is the older demographic these days. Like, I do have gray hairs, but I contribute that to the market center. I did not have grays as an agent. This is from being the team leader. And as like we go through, that's who lives on Facebook. And there's a younger population, and honestly, they're getting a little bit older on Instagram right now as well. So 2 things to this. 1, who would find value if I were to get Nikki and Amanda to talk about Facebook community pages, and if I were to get Ken Cruz, who's one of our agents who has built his business on Instagram, to talk about these different pieces, and we do a social media class on how to build your business. Cool, I see 2 heads shaking. I like it. I see Kathy like, I'd probably attend it. I don't know if I'm going to be on Instagram, though. I like it, Kathy. We'll do it. I know you're on Instagram. And so we'll do that, and we'll look into those pieces. And I think that this is what I'm seeing. Instagram, Facebook, all these platforms right now are rewarding people for doing video. Hugely. And I think that people are actually going through, I'm checking on my spider. He's crawling up the wall. And a lot of people right now, I don't think that it's mostly like for houses for sale. It's informational, right? Like if we were to go through and we look at, what is succeeding on these platforms. Yeah, some of it is houses. Like I think Facebook houses, post the houses, don't give the name or don't give the address, don't give the price. People are going to reach out to you wanting to know more info, but it can't be boring anymore. Before we just used to take the picture of the MLS, throw it on. I think you actually have to design it, get it all pretty, do some different things, and it's going to get a lot of eyes on it. Instagram is a purely visual platform, right? To where we're going through, and the prettier the picture, the more people are going to stop, the video content, all these different pieces. So as we're going through, why wouldn't it be just tips and tricks, right? Why wouldn't it be like, these are what you're going to look for at a home inspection in Colorado. These are the top places to go eat in Arvada, right? Like it needs to be informational, right? And to where we're going through and it's helpful, because this is the thing. If people want to do business with us, they know that we're real estate agents. They're going to click on our platform, right? They're going to click on our profile. They're going to see real estate agent with Keller Williams, and they're going to do business with us if they need us. But this is the thing. Not everyone's ready to transact business right now. And they might need to know the best neighborhood to live in, the best school district, right? They might be planning to move 6 months down the road, and they're just doing their research now. So if we can be that conduit of information, eventually they're going to do business with us. And so that's what I would look at when we're jumping on Instagram. If we're not running paid ads, but we're just putting out content, it's going to be pretty photos of houses. It's going to be information. It's going to be things that people find super, super high value and important.
Yeah, I think right now Instagram most popular with a little bit younger subset, but those that use it, they are so loyal, right? And
so loyal, and they're great at it, and they're on it all the time.
Yeah, I had nephews that said, I'm sorry to interrupt. I had a nephew that said, hey, find me on Instagram. I'm like, how about I friend you on Facebook? Like, Uncle Marty, no one uses Facebook anymore. And I'm like, I use it every day. But he's 19, and so he's just like, yeah, no one uses that anymore. I'm like, oh, my bad.
But you're right. When you talk about the method that you're going to use to target market, you got to figure out what platform they're using. Because my mom, 75, 80 plus, I'm not kidding you, they're on Facebook as much as these kids are on Instagram. Sure. It's mind blowing how they have adapted these platforms, and they're still buying and selling. So you just got to make sure that the method that you're using is going to attract that demographic that you're in search of. So let's talk YouTube. Let's go to YouTube next, and we'll save Twitter to last. So YouTube, without a doubt, if you're marketing your listings and having all these amazing virtual tours and video tours and drone tours and all of these kind of things, the videos that you're doing explaining your unique value proposition, your unique selling proposition. So whether it could be lifestyle, there's so many ways to utilize YouTube. Talk a little bit more about that.
Yeah, I think it's really when you're connecting with your potential customers, you can either have them hear it, you can have them read it, or you can have them see it, right? And I think that's sometimes the difference between these different channels is, do you want them to read about it? Do you want them to see it? Or do you want them to actually hear it, right? And so when you incorporate video, you're getting both auditory and visual. And so sometimes that impact is even more significant, especially if you're doing things like voiceovers, where you're actually, you're walking through the house, but then you've done a voiceover of your video talking about the features of the house as they're actually watching it. So it can be an extremely powerful, medium when you're looking to actually find clients that want that. I will tell you, my wife and I, we're actually looking at purchasing a new house, and the model that we want, there's not a single one in the city of Houston that is at foundation stage or more. And I'm a very visual person, and so I can see the floor plan, but you know what I mean? That's just two-dimensional. So we actually went to YouTube and searched in the builder and then the name of the actual floor plan, and we found 2 different video walkthroughs, one from Houston and one from Dallas. But it was great because the agents are just holding their phone and they're walking around, but it just made so much more sense. And so for me, it was a deeper connection to that floor plan.
Guys, so let's think about this, right? Let's start thinking about YouTube a little bit. So if we were to look at the number 1 and the number 2 search engines that people are actually going to looking for information, number 1 is Google and number 2 is YouTube. And guess what? YouTube is owned by Google. So if I were to, right, I started with, if I were to do my production business, if I were to add another pillar to my production business, it would be Google/YouTube big time, right? I'm talking videos of helpful information like I was talking about on Instagram. I would put it on YouTube because this is the thing. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, insert whatever social media platform here, you're actually disrupting a pattern, right? People are going on there to see what's going on with their friends, their family, their favorite group that they like to follow. And then you're interrupting their pattern because they're tripping over your ad. Well, this is the thing. If I'm going to Google or YouTube, I'm actually searching something. I am searching Arvada real estate. I'm searching best school districts in Arvada. I'm searching what should I be looking for in a home inspection, right? And then if you're creating video and content and different things like this, they're going to trip over your information and they're going to see you, right? And so I would actually double down on YouTube big time. I'm actually thinking about different things that I could actually do on YouTube right now. And guess what? You can monetize YouTube at a very high level as well, which I think is pretty cool. Like I'm watching a lot of videos right now on how these people are getting so many subscribers to their YouTube channel and they're making anywhere from a couple $100s to $30,000+ a month just by having content. And Kathy just shook her head like, good God, from a YouTube channel? Yes. And so this is huge, guys. This is the future. And you can see right now, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all these programs are putting video at the very top. So you can do short length content. You can do long length content. You can do all different things because different people are going to want different stuff. And so you could do like the top 10 things to look for in a home inspection, right? And so there's one video and it's like 30 minutes long. And then what you can do is then you can rank them. And then you can cut your video and you can say the number 1 thing to look for in a home inspection, the number 2 thing, right? And so now your top 12 item video, you can actually cut all of those and now you can turn each of them into their own video. And now you have 13 videos, evergreen content, right? Radon, mold, all these different things. You can put it on your YouTube, you can put it on your Facebook, you can put it on your Twitter, you can put it on your Instagram. Guys, it's everything. And this is also what you can do. You can send it to your clients, right? Like, hey, we're about to do our home inspection. These are some of the top things that we want to look for, and you fire it off. Guys, so I hope that this was helpful. We got another 3 minutes. Like I said, we weren't going to get through all this today. What comments, questions, concerns do you guys want to go through for the next 3 minutes? Perfect. That works, guys. Well, I hope that today was beneficial. I'm going to get Nikki, Amanda, and Ken on the calendar for February to teach that class. I think it'll be super powerful. And we'll also look into doing some YouTube stuff and showing guys what we can do with YouTube. Like I said, I'm going to look into YouTube heavily for some different things as well because I think that it serves a lot of purposes. If I could be a resource for you guys, obviously you all have my cell phone number. Send me a text message. Would love to help you guys any way I can. Have a great weekend. Happy New Year. We're 7 days in at this point. Have a great day, everyone. Thank you.